Slipping Through the Cracks by Hilda and Garrison. Yours truly. The videos Desperate Caregiver and A Clear Picture are old on YouTube, but I'm officially homeless now. Many people who viewed the videos have asked why am I still doing them. I choose this media again because, first of all, almost everything that is said and done is online. Secondly, I want to place emphasis on me and thousands of others who are adversely affected by being homeless and not having a stable job or no job at all. The government gives so much focus to many problems in this country, such as gun violence, drug abuse, drug trafficking, etc. But homelessness is low on their economic to-do list. Well, my videos are not excuses or complaints. This video, along with my other videos, are addressing the cold hard facts of the wilderness that I'm enduring after taking care of my mother. Many people like me have lost their jobs and housing due to cutbacks and other unforeseen circumstances. When you ask the government agencies for help, they are always running out of money. Yet the politicians can produce billions of dollars for their campaign and have a salary at the same time. It's charitable for the United States to help other countries all over the world in their plights. But when will the government fix the housing situation here in the United States? I was evicted in January, and I have been staying from one person to another in between their relatives. More recently, I'm living with a friend. Otherwise, I would be literally on the streets. Her residence is also in Harvey, Louisiana, which is much further than where I formerly resided. As I said in my other videos, I have wonderful friends, but I'm not at a point of being an intrusion now. I'm becoming a burden to them. They are not rich. They have their own responsibilities and relatives. They cannot afford me as their extra rate. So I'm squeezing wherever they can fit me, living out of my suitcases. One of the requirements to obtain housing is that you have to come from a shelter. All of the shelters are mostly full. Certain shelters are not suitable for me because I have belongings and I have to leave the shelter the same day. A single woman like me slips through the housing system cracks because I have to fit a certain criteria to obtain government assistance. To qualify, I have to be mentally unfit, serve in the military, a drug addict, a battered woman, an AIDS patient, a mother with children, be elderly, physically handicapped, a disaster victim, and even a reformed ex-convict. If I stay homeless and jobless for much longer, I will fit at least two of these certain criteria, which are being elderly and mentally unfit, because I will be too old and mentally frustrated for driving again to get a job, which will qualify me for senior living or a mental institution. Yet I'm so grateful to God for my health and strength. I constantly check with many government-assisted housing complexes, and the one-bedroom apartments are always occupied. Most of these apartment complexes have about a 2-year or more waiting list. I am still on a housing assistance voucher in New Orleans, and my name is approximately 25,000 on their list. Furthermore, thousands of homeless people are job searching. Many of them may have lost or about to lose their homes, but they can get help because, as I mentioned, you have to fit that certain criteria, while a person like me who doesn't fit in those categories unfairly slipped through the cracks. Several months ago, I was called in by a housing assistance agency named House of Ruth in Algiers, Louisiana. You have to call the agency number every month and hope to get their quota. After calling them for almost a year, I finally got a slot. One of their requirements is to have a court-ordered eviction. I had the eviction, but guess what? The eviction had to be up to 5 days old. So I got another setback. To obtain houses from various programs, you have to be physically on the street, and most shelters want you to be initially employed. I had become so desperate for housing and monetary assistance that I had a very slight thought of doing something drastic with my life for the attention and the help that I needed. But my faith in God, along with my integrity, just wouldn't let me do it. Please, please don't judge me by that thought, because you'll never know when you may become homeless, be a caregiver to a sick parent, or you may need a caregiver yourself. No one is exempt from being upset, anxious, nervous, depressed sometimes. I was so consumed in taking care of my mother that I didn't financially take care of myself. The caregivers out there who take care of their sick and or special needs relative, child, or spouse know what I'm talking about. All the sympathy and empathy from the government in its existing programs are well-intentioned, but there must be more programs and monies to keep people like me in the house before we lose it. It seems like I'm being penalized because I don't fit that certain criteria. Financial problems can creep in upon anyone, especially if you're not being paid to take care of your loved one. All I want is a nice full-time paying job and some financial assistance for housing and to buy another car. Since I don't have steady finances or a vehicle, my chances are very limited in getting a professional job that I need, want, and well deserve. To make matters more complicated, there is an inadvertent discrimination that is occurring when you are looking for housing and employment, and that is your credit history. How can you correct your credit when you're homeless with no steady work? If you're going through a crisis that you can't control, why would an employer or landlord judge you on your credit history instead of your working history and your qualifications? Many employers and landlords have bad credit themselves and end up foreclosing their property and businesses from mismanaging their own monies. Whereas the tenants end up homeless and employees lose their jobs anyway. In the meantime, the chances of getting a job are 1,000,000 to 1, like winning a lottery. I am diligently looking for a suitable job online, offline, in newspapers, etc. I get a few responses, but some responses are rejection letters and online notes stating someone else was selected for the position. As a result of these rejections, my homeless, no vehicle, and jobless situation worsens as time progresses, which means I will slip further through the economic cracks. Plus, the process of elimination in selecting an applicant is becoming more complicated because many employers are conducting online surveys, tests, and job performance assessments. Some people may not test well, but they will perform excellent on the job because of their job, from their skills from their previous jobs. Especially a fully trained, experienced person like me who would gladly work with a written contract for half the starting pay for 90 days as a trial period. After I have satisfied the duties in the position that I can be employed full-time with the whole salary amount, I can adapt to almost any job less than 90 days because I use logic and common sense along my marketable skills. I still work as a substitute teacher. I almost work half days because the bus arrives too late in my area to work a whole day. If I don't get a ride to the main bus line, I have to walk approximately 3.5 miles to ride the bus. Thank God I'm in good health to do the walking. Try walking in bad weather. Also, substitute pay is extremely low and sporadic, where I'm earning just enough to cover basic personal needs, bus fare, cell phone, and my storage fees. If I had a vehicle now, I'd be steadily working and or searching for jobs more often. There are employers who express interest in hiring me with a very good starting salary plus bonuses, but some of these jobs mandates you having transportation. As I said in my other videos, I have various knowledge, skills, talents, and abilities. Some hands-on, some gained through training. I have excellent leadership skills. I was a banquet waitress for 20 years, working in intervals while going to school. I have trained some of the banquet managers and waiters who are on their jobs today, which qualifies me to be a banquet captain. In my leadership skills, many people will say that I am passion and optimism. I have passion and optimism. I also inspire respect and trust from my subordinates, students, colleagues, and employers. I encourage others to be productive and have a positive vision for the organization in which I'm employed. I can motivate subordinates and or students by building morale, setting goals and objectives to support them to perform their very best on the job. You must be very interpersonal, especially managing up to 33 diverse students in a classroom in long-term assignments. My teaching specialties are English, Spanish, social studies. I am 2 tests and 2 classes away from being certified, but I cannot afford the examination fees. I have worked in social services and nonprofit agencies, doing grant writing, fundraising, housing counseling, customer service, etc. I have excellent organization and written skills. My written skills are exemplified in this script I wrote for this video. My technology skills are great and I update my computer skills as needed. I work extremely well under pressure because being homeless and not steady working with minimum money is not easy. I can adapt to any job situation because working with temp agencies you have no choice but to be versatile. Overall, I work as an administrative assistant and counselor for combined over 20 years. On my creative side, I wrote over 100 pieces of poetry that I plan to publish when my finances get better. In short, I'm a hard-working, innovative, multi-talented, multifaceted, good leadership person who wants a fair chance to be successful in my working life. I have too much experience to cover in this video. I will be glad to meet with any employer to further discuss my qualifications. Moreover, I continue to listen to many of the spiritual ministers, such as Joyce, Joe, Bishop Paul, and T.D., Pastor Mike, etc. I get a ride to my church to sing in the choir for more spiritual strength. In reference to my family, my great friends shouldn't be the issue here, because I shouldn't have to depend on any of them. I should have my own housing, good job, and another car. I don't want a handout. I only want an economic push. Then I will take my own steps from here. I'm glad I made my mother happy, proud graduate from college. But I know if she were alive today, she would be very hurt about this situation. I was enrolled in graduate school, but I had to stop because of my mother. I like to return to graduate school, but I know I won't be able to fully concentrate on my studies with this crisis on my back. I feel like a soldier battling for my life with the government and the employee system as my enemy. I have fought to keep my mother alive till her death, and now I'm fighting for my life. In reiterating, I know there are many caregivers like me who are dealing with their loved ones. Their stories may be more dramatic than mine, yet they are the spoken heroes making their sacrifices to be our loved one's lifeline. Well done, caregivers. Continue to be strong. In closing, young people, please graduate. There are foolish gangsters in this world, but you want to be a gangster for education. Please make education your priority. Use common sense, wisdom, and intelligence as your weapons to shoot for academic success. Stay focused and spiritual, because even though I'm in this economic wilderness right now, I got my wisdom and education to back me up. Finally, dear Lord, I'm looking for a miracle very soon. My birthday is Christmas Day, and since I'm blessed to be born on the Lord's birthday, it would be wonderful if I could have my wishes for a great job, nice car, and a house to come just in time for Christmas. So in Jesus' name, may everyone have a love, peace, and joy through the holidays and always.